record going? Okay, now we can do the show. Now we're good. Here we go in a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Horseshoes and Hand Grenades, a show that brings to you the latest and greatest and odd and crazy news. I am your host, Steven, and tonight we are going to sail the seas. All the seas. The sea as in cat, sea as in ocean, sea as in emergency. All the different seas. They're going to be ours because they're full of news, they're full of stories, they're full of intrigue, and we shall grasp them by the gonads and thrust them firmly into your ear holes, where they shall gestate until they become a new creation that makes you think about rainbows. Oh man, that got dark quick. Hey, joined as always by the amazing, the incredible Smash Lee, who is here to suddenly judge me for my intro. It's your turn.
Did you just shove nuts into my ears?
Scrotal
and have
contents.
Nut ear babies.
I shoved the contents of scroti into your ears. That's okay though. I mean,
Also, something I'd rather do than IT my mother.
Then tech support.
Yes.
We don't know what IT means in the BDSM world or something, and you don't want to get that confused. It could have meant anything to anybody who's listening. Our show is open to interpretation, and we wouldn't want people to be like sitting in their leather suit, whatever, like that latex suit in a latex vacuum bag, listening to our show, going, "IT means intestinal tracheotomy." I don't know where I'm going. You ever done a drug before? I haven't.
We're tired. Wait, you know the episode of the IT crowd where the lady's like, I've never thought to ask me, what does IT stand for? And Chick's like, what doesn't it stand for? She's like, no, what's it literally stand for? And she had to sneak away to the bathroom to ask Moss, but Moss had a concussion.
Why is that the greatest show ever? Like, if you don't like computers, you may be a little more lost on it, but daggone is it just witty as all get out. It's the best. What?
Even my mommy called while you and Jacob were on the phone.
I love how the audio listeners are going to wonder why you just shoved like an orange peel in the front of your mouth to talk.
I was squishing my face. So she calls and she's like, she sounds kind of off. And I was like, Mom, is everything okay? And I was whispering because I was shutting the patio door so I wouldn't come over through the mic. So then she started whispering and I'm like, you don't need to whisper. I was whispering. And she's like, I just got a messenger from blah, blah, blah. And she said that this, I needed to send all of my contacts this email because if any of my contacts get this, then I'll be infected. I'm like,
This is how computers work.
4 billion not to use Facebook or Facebook Messenger. I'm like, Mom, I haven't been on Facebook in like 5 years. However, that sounds like phishing to me. She's like, well, it was from blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, well, her account may have been hacked. I'm like, take a screenshot. I don't know how to do that. You press the up volume button and power. And she's like, okay, I don't know how to do that. Okay. So the next thing I know, and I'm like, but you have, oh my God. I was like, but you have to have it highlighted on your screen to take a screenshot. She's like, okay, well, that I do because that's what I was reading from. I'm like, okay. She's like, so I pressed the power button. No.
My phone just went to sleep. What do I do now?
She hung up on me because she just held down the power button and turned her phone off. So like, I'm like, Mom, if you're going to hold it down, hold the up volume. Like the volume up button, and then just press the power button. I'm like, you don't need to hold it. Just press it. And she's like, well, I don't know how to do that. Like, okay. And so the next thing, she goes, well, it didn't work. And I'm like, she's like, okay, so I just barely pressed the power button. I'm like, just press the fucking button Just don't hold it down. Just click it like a normal fucking human being. And oh my gosh, it worked. Now what do I do? Ah! I'm like, why do you throw adjectives in that I did not throw in? I didn't say barely. I just said press it. And I'm like, I'm giving you very distinct. I'm telling you exactly what to do and how to do it. And you're just adding your own adjectives.
She does that.
Adverbs. Barely's an adverb.
She will take your instructions, and somehow she'll like break the sentence apart and insert like find a raccoon, and you'll be like, no, that's not what I said at all. Just squeeze your phone. Boop. Squeeze it.
Yeah, like some pop cultures, like I accidentally take screenshots all the time, and my mom cannot do it on purpose because she's over here holding it down or barely pressing it. I'm like, there's a medium, and the medium is click.
I have found that as much as I appreciate Face ID, and when it first became a thing, I was like, holy crap. All the things I used to have to put my finger on the thing for, I don't have to do that anymore. It's my face. But I have more issues, like, getting to things I need, because it's always like, there's no button anymore. So, like, to get to the flashlight, like, you hit flashlight, and it's like, oh, that didn't turn it on. Oh, I have to hold it down. Oh, I held it down too much. Oh, I tried to press it, but instead of pressing it, I dragged the screen up. And now I'm trying to open it, and it just makes me want to throw something. So there are things I think maybe Apple should just leave some buttons on the phone, just like a button somewhere. Call me old and traditional, but I kind of appreciated having just a button somewhere. But rumor has it they're trying to remove all the buttons, and there will be no more buttons. Buttonless world.
That could be problematic because when your screen locks, the buttons are the only thing that saves you.
Right? Like, what do you do? Like, you can't, because there's no feedback. Like, when your phone's just stuck, you know if you hold that button down and it clicks, that you can hold it and it'll turn off and you can start it back up again. But if it's off and there's no buttons to press, and like if the like whatever pretend touch feedback thing they're gonna put in there does, and it doesn't make a sound, you're like, what is going on? And everybody shows up at the Apple Store all day. Like, I can't, my phone.
Everybody's like, already at the Apple Store all the time.
Doing what, though? Do you think
I don't know.
How many people walk out of there with something bought? You know,
all
like
of them?
I mean, I used to meander into the Apple Store and look around and be like, look at all the glorious gadgets. And it's attuned to my aesthetic. You know, I really dig that whole shininess.
Yeah. A lot of people do.
Yeah, for sure. But I now I walk in there, I'm like, daggone, this stuff is expensive, and I leave. I'm like, and there's people everywhere touching everything. We got the Wu-Tang virus, you guys. We got to keep ourselves safe. You cracked me up when you called it Wu-Tang, because I haven't called it that yet. I keep calling it the Wuhan, but the Wu-Tang.
That's what it was, the Wuhan.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember it. I'm like, I remember Wu-Tang. Oh, the Corona memes are cracking me up.
Oh, where they're about the beer?
Yeah. Yes, it's coronavirus. There's so many. Just look up coronavirus meme, but like separate corona and virus, and it makes you happy.
That thing. So I was reading. You know, when something like this first happens, it's like, holy crap, patient zero. The world is going to end. Everything's on fire. And they do that. Like, the news will sensationalize it for a little while because it's what they do. They get business out of you clicking to find out how many things are going on in the world. And finally, like, this has been going on for 2 weeks of people just losing it. CNN posts an article. It says, disease kills 15 million people this year, or like infects 15 million people this year. And I'm like, holy crap, what was that? And it's like the flu. It's basically saying, CTFD, like, chill, it's fine. Just,
I mean, it's bad, but it's doing the same thing as the flu. It's if your immune system is weak, and if you're older, younger. So I know all the hospitals have a lockdown until April sometimes. If you're under the age of 12, like, you ain't going back to the birthing area.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, and that makes sense. But that's the thing, like you're getting all these reports out of China. It's like people are dying left and right in the streets, and we're having to like push them around. And but it's not. They're not giving you any information about like, is it older people and young people that are dying? Like, who's dying? It just says people. Every stat I've ever
Yeah.
read so far just says people are dead, and I'm like, well, I mean, okay, people are dead. That's horrible, but which kind of people are we talking about?
Like, well,
Flu
I mean,
people?
when you see something like that, do I need to be worried? That's
Right.
that's what you want out of it, right? Like,
Yes. Middle, like, older immune system, non-immune compromised adult that's not elderly and not an infant. What is
right.
the possibility of death in this scenario? And I think it comes from pneumonia. Most people who are getting this thing are ending up with pneumonia, and pneumonia is bad, and pneumonia kills people, particularly elderly people. Hospital pneumonia takes out literally everybody. So it's just like, I would like to have some facts, but China's like, here are your facts, 100 people. And then they're like, I mean, maybe 150. I mean, maybe 160, because we're trying not to make it look bad on us because we're China.
Yeah.
Which is basically what it's what Russia did with Chernobyl. It's like, no, it's fine. Everything's fine. Okay, wait, maybe
Everything's
not.
fine here. How come you have one ear in and one ear out? Is your ear hot?
No, I freak out because I can get really elevated when I talk about stuff, and I don't want to be yelling into the house, and I can't hear myself anymore because I don't have my main mixer feeding me in my voice anymore, so I can't hear anything. So
What
I just feel
happened
like
to your
yelling.
tiny ear things?
That would do the same thing because I'm not wired in through the mixer anymore, so I'm not having the main mix feed my head. I'm using this software thing, and if I use it, it's a delay. Welcome to Technical Podcasting with Horseshoes and Hand Grenades.
Did you have those on last week, or did you have your
Yeah.
tiny things?
I had these on last week. They're wireless,
Did you
so I'm
really?
not rolling over my. They're awesome. We're not sponsored by them, but they're Steel Series Arctic 7s, and they're real nice. And this is how old and this is how stupid I can be, man. Like, I was sitting there like, well, I've got this. They're 2.4 gigahertz wireless, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, well, I want to put the little transmitter, like, close to them so I don't have to worry about, like, static or anything. Cordless phones have used this frequency since 1990. Like, we were walking all over the house. So I go downstairs expecting them to cut out, and I'm like getting coffee, listening to the morning stream, and I'm like, holy crap, these still work. These are amazing. So I can walk around the house.
That's why you were freaking out, because you're like, I walked downstairs and I can still hear blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. By the way, the chat is saying that you should just cover your mouth and not sneeze on people, and that would help the spread of the virus pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, that's great until, like, Oddly Normal says that you've got a kid that doesn't understand that and just sneezes onto everything and then sticks his hand up his nose and then rubs that on it. I was at Target today with Stephanie, and I had to pee 17 times, so I washed my hands like 17 times. Like, washed.
The happy birthday to you. You did that whole deal, watched forever.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
I know that it gets here and between here, and I'm like, I'm effing pregnant and F this crap. And also, okay, so the world is made for medium people. I've decided that. Medium people rule, because everything is medium. If you're tall, you're like, like to reach the sink and stuff. And if you're shorter, you're like, but medium people are like, this sink is just, the sink doesn't, I could piss into the sink at most places and not be troubled. I'm so tired.
You just like just belly up to it and just throw a leg over.
I don't even I wouldn't even have to stand on my tiptoes. Like, and this is without a schlong to flop out into the bowl, right? I'm just like,
I love the idea of just this elephant wiener. You just like heave over the side of a sink and just, man, life's tough.
Kelly's got like the opposite issue because she's shorter than average. So she's like, you get everything wet trying to reach crap. But like, so trying to wash my face in a sink I'm gonna give myself like scoliosis because I'm just like bent over until like my head's between my knees trying to wash my face. I'm like, why? And toilets? Oh my god, if I wear heels, I feel like I've fallen off a 3-story building until my butt hits porcelain.
You're like, you continue to fall back until you're at that point where like the toilet better be under me, or this is gonna be bad because I've got no leg strength.
Right.
You know,
Because you're
you're
not
that.
expecting to have to catch yourself.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like and like worse at night when your spouse may or may not have gone to the bathroom and forgot to put the thing down. And then you go to just
Oh.
like sleepily sit down and then your butt's in the water. Sam did that
I'm
once
like,
and it was amazing. Like he went to sit on the toilet but he didn't pay attention to where the seat was and he just like sat in the water. And he was like, ah,
oh, because he's so sad. Oh, that's so sad. Oh, that's such a rude awakening.
because he's so tiny. That's how we learn, man. That's you screw up, you learn. You safely learn at home, like not in a public restroom. You don't want to know when you find out bathrooms aren't made properly is when you're trying to lift your 2-year-old to wash their hands. And you're like, why does no one have stools in these bathrooms? Like,
Yeah.
I'm having to like hold him up. I saw another dad doing it one day. I was like, I feel you. I know what you're like. Sam is just old enough now where like he can get to the water in most places, but he can't turn it on. He can't reach the on handle, but he can get his
Right.
hands up there enough. And sometimes I just splash, help him out. Like get the water to his hands because his hands can't get to the water. But back in the day, man, lifting that kid up, I'm holding him while he's trying to wash, and he sucked at washing, so I had to like help him at the same time.
I
That was
used
rough.
to just stand him on the sink and have him squat because I'm an awful human.
No, that seems like much less work. That's probably a good
Yeah.
idea.
Work
See,
smarter, not harder. Sam's gonna have the Griffin problem just in reverse. Griffin's like, I was 6 foot tall, and then I was in a wheelchair, so I went from really tall to like having the shorter issue now, and Sam's gonna have the shorter issue because he's probably gonna be taller too. So
oh yeah.
there's there's like never the happy medium of who's a medium person. Like, do we know medium people that don't have issues with toilets and sinks?
I mean, Zafo's a medium person, right? Or is he a short person?
I don't.
What's a
So
medium person? I'm like 6 foot, and I feel like that's pretty average.
Yeah,
That
but you're
feels
too
medium.
tall for sinks and toilets.
I'm not too tall for sinks and toilets. I feel pretty adequate.
You don't wash your face in a sink, though.
Why? I mean, no. I wash my face in the shower, and
I,
that's
I
when the
wash my
water's
face
above
at night
me.
because
Oh yeah, Stephanie fuzzes at me all the time because she'll get her face all clean. I'll go to like kiss her cheek. She's like, "No, my face is clean," and I'm like,
I just rubbed expensive shit. And you're taking it off.
"Yeah." She's like, "My face is clean." I'm like, "I'm sorry." You know, I don't know. I should probably wash my face at night. Now you got me all self-conscious about it. I brush my teeth. Take my contacts out, put my stupid bite guard in because I grind my teeth, and then I climb in bed and fall asleep. Like boom, asleep. Takes me like 3 seconds.
I feel like it's what you're used to. Like if I wear makeup, then I don't go to sleep with the makeup on just because A, I don't want it on my pillowcase, and B, I feel like filmy.
Well, it clogs your pores, right?
It can. Like the crap I use, it's basically just tinted lotion. That's so I got up at 3 o'clock this morning because I had a dream that someone kicked in our bedroom door, and it immediately woke me up, and I just froze and I laid there and I was like vacillating about what the hell just happened? Where's my gun? So I'm like, I need to get my gun, but I'm like, slowly it started to fade because I had the adrenaline. I'm like, that was a dream, right? And Jacob's snoring beside me. I'm like, Jacob would have woken up. Jacob's not doing anything. Surely that was a dream. And then I got perturbed in myself because I'm like, I would be dead by now.
You find yourself angry because
Yeah,
of
I was
a dream?
so mad at myself for hesitating. I'm like, I've got contractors coming anyway. I could have put a couple holes in the sheetrock. Who cares?
They would fix it for you. That'd be fine.
Yeah, no questions asked. But that adrenaline slash rage kept me up, and so I went and took a nap before the show. And like to prepare for the show, I rubbed lotion all over my face and then put lip gloss on.
Man, Your preparation is a lot more intense than like I would have loved a nap. But other than that, like I came in here and then Dorkbot was dead and I had a little panic attack. And I was like, oh no, this is bad. And I had to like fix it in 20 minutes. And I did it.
Kelly said I was shint, and I'm like, is that like an Irish curse word?
That's what the kids say these days, you know?
Like, you're shint.
Factoid of the week. For those playing the home game, I hit that button about 2 minutes ago because I didn't mean to. I thought we were going to segue, and then we didn't.
Sorry.
Professionals. We're professionals. Ancient Greeks would bring a cake decorated with candles. That is a good sentence. It represented the glowing moon to the temple of Artemis, the goddess of the hunt and the moon. It only became a birthday tradition from the 1700s as every candle represented each passing year. Oh, birthday cakes come from the ancient Greeks.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool.
That's
I don't know
kinda
why.
neat.
Like, I've stopped, like, for the show blog. I've stopped doing my own little ranty thing, and I always do a continuation of the factoid because they've been fascinating. And
I
so,
like
like,
it.
it's this whole thing on candles now.
That's really great. I appreciate this. I think this is a great move. Oh, speaking of ancient Greeks, I found out something today that kind of blew my mind.
She said,
Rufus. Where do you think the name Rufus came from?
I'm
Like,
assuming ancient Greece.
Stop it. You're supposed to act like I didn't just like segue to it from ancient Greece. So
Bill
yeah,
and Ted.
Bill and Ted. So I did not know this. So I always heard Rufus and I would think like, oh, that's like, some southern name or maybe like at best like an English name. Rufus is a biblical name, man. I found the name Rufus in the Bible. And I was like, well, how about that? Next to like, all the other biblical names. The 13th apostle Rufus. It's close.
I've read the Bible through like 3 times and I don't recall a Rufus.
There's a Rufus right there at the end of Romans. Blew my mind. I was like, I looked up at Stephanie. I was like, Rufus is a biblical name. How about that? And then that's what I took out of it. that's what I learned today, and I wanted to share because I thought that was fun.
Some of the biblical names are so weird. Like Jacob, we were talking about kids' names, and Jacob's like, I like Matthias. And I'm like, Matthias would come out with a banjo and probably like, no. Matthias just sounds like a backwoods.
Matthias is a good name. It's a good, strong name. They're telling me now that the chat is explaining to me that Rufus was Chris Rock's character in Dogma, and he was the 13th apostle. And I was like, oh, okay. Then I should have watched Dogma, and I would have learned from that.
Read Monkey Bananas or reading from the Book of Skeeter to the Rufusians.
we call Sam Skeeter. We're trying to give him his redneck name and let it sink in because we were calling him Tater Tot for a while, but now it doesn't make sense because you're gonna have one, and he's gonna be named Tater's Tot. No, Travis, I haven't seen Dogma. I don't know why I haven't seen Dogma. I just
we
didn't
went to
see
Christian
it.
school and it felt blasphemous because it came out while we were in like that.
Yeah,
Christian
it came out
school
at that
phase.
time.
Yeah,
I
so
would,
it that's probably why we didn't watch it.
I'm going to see Kevin Smith on February 16th with Jacob, and I'm pumped about it. So maybe I should see it before then.
I'm excited that you guys get to go on your bro date.
Yep, it's gonna be great. We're gonna go have a beer. We're gonna go to watch Kevin Smith talk for hours. It's gonna be fun. I'm very excited about it. Are we?
Travis, I'm the black sheep from my born again Christian family. I feel like once you go to Christian school, you become the black sheep of everybody's Christian family. Like, you either lose religion completely or you get a little jaded to some of the hypocrisy and you're like, I like me some Jesus, but y'all are
There's plenty to go around of there's plenty of opinions and you're actually not sure where they came from. That's what you find.
Oh, it's like you hear stuff. So this is what hurts my soul about a Christian school, because this is your formative years. And for for about a decade after I got out of Greater Beckley, I thought that anytime I did something bad, that God no longer loved me because I had sinned and I need to like whip the shit out of myself mentally and physically before I could pray again. So there was like a decade where I'm like, I'm just not gonna pray because
I
there's a lot of
remember that.
praying every time I do something wrong.
I remember you talking about this. Oh, what did you say? You said I'm just gonna do what I want because all my best friends who are really good get brain tumors and stuff. You said that at dinner once. You were like, I'm not going to be a part of this because all my good friends die early.
That tracks.
That was what she said. I always remember thinking, like, she's not wrong, but dang.
Well, and you start associating like the bad things that happened in your life to like, did I do something bad? It's like super like 1500s burn the witch kind of crap, and I'm like, it's such a struggle because like, great, you can raise someone with a sense of morality, like biblical rights and wrongs, even, but like, don't take the best part of Christianity, which is this fun relationship, right? And absolutely nail it to the cross again, because hot damn, they did a good job of it. Like, the struggle was real.
Yes, it was. I've come to a lot of conclusions after that, and it's a journey. It's a journey, and it's a journey of research and understanding that you have to partake of on your own. If you go to they were pretty strict Baptists where we went, which is fine. If that's your jam, that's fine. It's fine. It's just that there was a lot of things being thrown around that made you go, "Oh my gosh, I'm a terrible person." And it's like, no, calm down. Calm down. It's
Yeah.
you learn more watching Mr. Rogers than you learn about what Jesus is from Christian school.
Yeah, and I think that was the struggle. I'm like, if you're gonna teach the core of Christianity, great, but you can't just kind of add in, if your hemline is above your knees, you're a harlot and we're all going to judge you. I'm like, okay, great, but separate that from Christianity and just say, this is the school's rule.
Yeah, that
We
was
just kind of, we want to look a certain way to support this, but this doesn't mean if you wear shorty shorts that, Jesus thinks you're a Jezebel. I mean, Jesus hung out with Jezebel, so
Yeah. I mean, it hurt you. You preach one thing and then you do another. Anyway, we could have an entire podcast dedicated to this topic and those interested in it all day long, and would be more than happy. I've played with the idea of doing a podcast about this stuff before, and then I thought maybe the juxtaposition of horseshoes and hand grenades in that podcast coming from the same mouth would potentially be damaging to me, so I decided not to do it. But
you should do it.
if anyone ever wants to have that conversation, hey, I'm some ears, but until then, let's talk about some like meth addicts or something, shall we? Here we go. World news. Authorities seize 12 tons of smuggled beaver penises.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? I was typing.
Authorities seized 12 tons of smuggled beaver penises. Why would you have to smuggle a beaver penis? You'd think you could just kind of wander around with that. Like,
What
I've
is
just got this
Jacob,
bag
can I
of
search
beaver
penis?
penises just hanging around. If anybody's interested. Customs officers in China confiscated over 12 tons of beaver genitals. Okay, that is a lot. Oh, that was in the headline. I was just caught up on beaver penises. 12 tons of beaver.
Oh my God! There's a picture of Peter. Blah, 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 blah. What?
Beaver genitals. The country's largest ever smuggling case pertaining to animal parts. A total of 94 bags carrying thousands of beaver schlongs each were impounded on board a Canadian ship carrying mostly minerals and wood products. Wood products?
Lol.
Beaver
lolly,
penises.
Lolly, lolly, lolly. lollipop.
You could write that on a manifest as the same thing, and you're not really lying to anybody.
And then you have the hammer dwarf. I'm like, that's a lot of beaver wang. Like, how many beavers have you wonked to get the wang?
Did they really have a picture of the beaver penises?
Look, why?
Oh my gosh, you're right. Do you guys want to see the picture?
Pigs in a blanket.
I'll show you the picture. They look like dog bones. I'm actually kind of shocked what they look like.
I need to see this in action. Can I beaver penis in action? Beaver penis. Oh, that's the first suggested thing.
I mean, they're real long. Like, there's a lot to a beaver penis. I wasn't expecting that. That's new.
Are they bones? They have penis bones?
I know raccoons have penis bones and blue whales. Or no, walruses. I think walruses have the biggest boners.
There's so much crap on my Google search right now.
Approximately 500,000 to 600,000 beavers must have been slain to generate the 12.7 tons of penises. Beaver phalluses are implemented in traditional Chinese medicine to increase sexual vigor and remedy erectile dysfunction. This is why we have the Wu-Tang virus, because we keep taking wild animal parts and putting them in things because it gives us special powers. They're actually saying Wu-Tang might have come from bat soup. There's a particular bat that tends to carry lots of stuff, and if we just quit eating weird rodents, we wouldn't get these viruses from China so much. Like, there's things that you just shouldn't eat, because I don't go up to my attic and go, oh, look, I found the mouse that was in here. I'm going to go cook it in a stew. It's a bad idea. They have all kinds of stuff going on.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's certain animals that, I mean, unless you're starving to death, then maybe you don't necessarily. Bats and rats and mice carry diseases. Beaver penis on Etsy. Okay.
Somebody's
my God, they literally sell beaver wang on Etsy.
Well, then they can't be that bad of smuggling. Like, this can't be that terrible. The Chinese General Administration of Customs held a lengthy press conference Wednesday morning to rationalize why it recovered what many Chinese recognize as valid medicine, premised on cited black market prices for the scoots. Scoots? Is scoot a penis slang term? A scoot? Is it scoot or scoot? Someone tell me what it is.
Did you say scootus? Where is it? Scooters? Anyway, the customs agency projected the nab genitalia would have been worth more than $23 million. The investigation to identify the criminal organization behind this smuggling operation is still underway, but it was dealt a serious economic blow today. China is hands down the world's biggest market for animal body parts and trafficking. Experts forecast the market value of illegally imported animal parts on the Chinese market between 45 and 50 billion US dollars. Oh my word, you guys. Is it scoot or is it scootus?
Not scootus.
Why is that so funny? I keep looking at the word scoots.
Not to be confused with SCOTUS.
Was this in... Please, it'd be even better if these beavers were from Canada. It was! On a Canadian ship! The scoots.
The scoots. Why that sounds Scottish. I will show them the scoots. Pull out your willy boys.
I still haven't seen a good picture of a beaver wang, like, not disembodied.
Like in the wild?
Yes.
What are you looking for, a beaver with his hands on his hips, like with his wiener hanging out? Look at me.
Wild beaver saloon penis.
Are you Googling wild beaver penis on Jacob's computer?
Beaver dicks and beaver treasures worth a damn. I clicked on it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really tired. I just want to see a beaver peen.
You should at least turn on safe search, or not safe search, but private mode, porn mode, save my history mode.
Did you say porn mode?
Yeah. Make sure it's
I'm
deleting all
always in
the.
porn mood, Steven.
That's my secret. I'm always in porn mode.
Yeah. I'm gonna
I
cry.
met people that were really paranoid over their privacy, and they did use private windows for all browsing all the time. And I'm like, listen, there's a lot to be said about privacy on your local computer, but like cookies, man, sometimes it's nice not to have to log into a website 75 times in a
Oh
day.
yeah.
You know, like that's pretty. That's convenient to be able to go back the next day and be like, oh, there's all my browsing history. I'm glad I can find that like weird thing I was looking at yesterday again.
The beaver peen.
Fun fact, most artificial or natural flavorings are composed of beaver butthole.
So, in my beaver penis epic journey. By the way, epic journey, Horizons, Legions of Dorks coming soon to a store near you. Um, I found a picture of like the sacks that can contain the vanillin. Those
Oh, you found some sacks?
I found some I saw beaver anal sacks.
Wait, beaver anal sacks?
Yeah, they're sacks.
Do they go like? Are they a gland?
Yeah.
Can you just buy them?
Well, I don't know. I just saw them laying down next to like beaver penis.
Wait, when you're and you're googling.
Am I googling?
And you're googling, you found beaver.
I didn't go to like Trader Joe's and see beaver sacks.
I mean, it wouldn't shock me at Trader Joe's, to be honest. With all the natural stuff, it'd be like, just take these and just pop it, and it squeezes on your vanilla in your ice cream, and it's vanilla ice cream. Yay!
Well, I want ice cream now, just without the anal sacks.
I haven't had ice cream in a while, and man, my gut is thanking me for that.
Oh, you don't do the lactose.
Nah, I ended up having.
I don't do boys because I used to be one. I don't think that line would fly today.
Oh no, nothing. Go back and watch literally. Like I watched Transformers, and that was what 2005, maybe. That doesn't even hold up. Like that holds up.
Really?
That holds up so poorly, so poorly. Like watching it in the back, you're like, this is bad. Like this is bad. Like this is just a bad movie. Like it's not good. It was good then, but I'm watching it now with new eyes, going, this is stupid. This is bad.
To be fair, Michael Bay's movies tend to run fairly racist and
Oh yeah, it
unwoke.
was right. It was definitely objectifying of Megan Fox for sure. I mean, she's ridiculously attractive, and I get it, but still, at the same time, you're being a director and you're going flex your stomach a little more for this scene that's not even appropriately put together, and run in clothes that you should have changed out of like a long time ago. Like in reality, they'd just be running around in pajamas because everybody's wearing pajamas all the time now. You know, like. It was I wanted to like it, but you know, it was not as good as I remembered it being. I was like, this isn't. Plus, Sam has taught me a lot about the Transformers and their culture and who they are, and because I've learned a lot about them. I'm like, those really aren't behaving like the Transformers that I know and love from the cartoons. Know what I mean?
I don't remember the cartoons like at all. I remember Gummy Bears and like My Little Ponies and She-Ra and He-Man.
Yeah,
But
I didn't watch Transformers.
Not Transformers.
No, I didn't watch them either. Small Town News. You know, lots of comments for your new look.
I feel like it's very like Amidala hairstyle-y. What's the Star Warsy?
Yeah, and for those audio listeners, Ashley has taken her hoodie and put it over her cat ears, and she looks sort of like a nun. But we all know that that's not possible.
Dark eyebrows and like, hold on, can I don't think this is red enough.
I haven't showed Sam the 1986 Transformers movie because Optimus dies like in the first 20 minutes. And I'm not
really?
I'm not sure I'm ready for that.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, Groove just said I still cry over it. Oh yeah.
there's too much other Transformers content he can enjoy that's like age appropriate. Not to say that that wasn't, but that Optimus isn't dead in that I can do and I can handle and sounds good to me.
By 1986, I was watching movies with my dad, so Transformers would have been a step back.
I get to watch Terminator in the next week. I'm gonna be on a show with Travis, and I'm gonna talk about Terminator, and I'm real excited about it.
Wait, he's getting you to watch the first Terminator.
Yes.
Travis, I love you so much. You don't understand how happy this makes me. I'm so excited. I feel like my friend is growing up.
If you want me to do something, tell me I can come on your show because I did it, and I will do it. Because that's how podcasters. That's how you fish for podcasters. Remember when we had Bill on our show talking about something once, or we had Bill and a bunch of people after DragonCon come on,
Yes.
including Groove is for Life. Like everybody came on and was talking about what they did at DragonCon. Bill was like, "Number one way to get me to listen to your show, have me on it." And I was like, that checks out.
That's a good point.
Is anybody looking for
Yeah,
tips?
because I'm doing Crash Test Pilots next Friday. And he's like, you probably should listen to a couple of episodes because it's a newer thing that they're doing. They just did like one season of it, and I'm like, yes, I made a note.
Like, I will listen to this. Yep. So I'm gonna be joining Travis to talk about the Terminator.
That's exciting. I think I prefer the first one to the second one.
That's kind of shocking. I mean, I don't know, have a basis for it, but you're all about some Terminator 2.
Yeah, but I feel like Terminator 1 was a little grittier in a good way and a little less emotional.
Well,
A little
I
less,
will
yeah.
learn for myself when I watch it. I have been doing some fun stuff. You guys are talking about Picard, the new show, and I've never watched an episode of The Next Generation. So obviously what I did was go watch the oldest Star Trek I could find and watched like the first 2 episodes of the original series, and I like it. It's cheesy. It's so stuck in the 60s it doesn't even know what to do with itself, but my word, am I digging some Shatner and like everybody. Like I don't think they're in their groove by any means at that point. Like 2 episodes, they're still figuring out what kind of show they are. But
Yeah.
I'm down. Chris Mitchell helped me go see Mitch Streams helped me go through it and figure out like there's a scene. There's two Kirks at play here. There's William Shatner cocky that you'll notice on the screen, and there's Kirk cocky. And somewhere they do a dance. Like sometimes you'll be like, that's William Shatner being William Shatner. And then other times you're like, that is the character of Kirk. And you're like, because they were doing this martial arts thing with an alien kid or whatever, and everyone has on a gi and tight pants, except for William Shatner, who is shirtless with tight pants. That left
Lord.
nothing to the imagination. And I'm like, that's Shatner cocky. That's what Shatner is to. And he's like, let me show you the shoulder roll. And I'm like, this is just Shatner trying to show off all his moves more than it is Kirk doing
That's
anything.
super interesting. Like, well, because I've never watched the. I was always TNG because that's what I watched with Dad. But that's a very interesting take.
That's,
I thought Picard was a movie up until you guys started talking about it.
wow.
I thought it was a movie because
Well,
I don't watch trailers for anything now. So I'm just like,
yeah.
that's gonna be a movie. And I'm like, what the hell are they talking about? Episodes?
Well, so you should come over sometime and use my CBS All Access with me and watch Picard over here. Definitely at my house on my CBS All Access. So you can enjoy it.
I don't know if I want to watch Jean-Luc Picard be an old man because I feel like it'll make me sad.
People are digging it like a lot. Like a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So far, from what I can tell, everybody on the internet's like, dang, that Picard premiere was legit. And other things the kids say. They really like it.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, Adam's saying it's not okay. Cause like I have like a special place in my heart for old men. And they just like inherently make me kind of melancholic.
I mean, I don't think you could. I don't think Picard or what's his name, Patrick Stewart would have come back if it was going to be a pooper. Like they really had to convince him that it was
Oh,
going to
sure.
work.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I'm sure it's good. I just don't want to be sad.
yeah. Well, you should probably read the next story because we've been talking for
Yeah.
45 minutes now. Did you know that? It goes by so
Well,
fast.
it says, bill to allow emoji on license plates could be a boon for Vermont. If there is a poop emoji on the road, I will run the car off the road.
There will be. They can't do that, man. Police computers are old and they talk to mainframes, and I can't be looking through their keyboard to be like, I need to check if this poop emoji is a criminal.
JLH79 parentheses poop.
Yeah, they have to type in the word. No, this would make the job of state police and any police in any state, because if they do a license plate in Vermont that has emojis, if that car leaves Vermont and winds up in another state and it has to be checked by troopers there,
Yeah.
this is dangerous for law enforcement across
That's
the
a
board.
really good, like, I wouldn't have thought about. Granted, it would make it like easier to find certain vehicles.
I just
But-
perused the story and we should read it before we get too opinionated.
Shocking. Jacob, I can hear Jacob, not literally, but you know.
Yeah, she's
A
yelling.
new bill that could allow Vermont drivers to add a smiley face, a heart, or maybe another symbol to their license plates could drum up interest from visitors, as well as potential revenue for the state. The bill, which was introduced this month by State Representative Rebecca Whitford D. Hartford, my brain, would allow drivers to choose one of 6 emojis to put on their license plate. The emoji would not replace existing text on a license plate, but instead would sit under or next to the lettering. Okay.
That's what it is. Yeah, so
Okay.
that seems okay.
Why just get a sticker? God damn. White said the process would be like getting a vanity plate or any other specialty license plate, which means you pay a lot for it, though the cost of adding an emoji hasn't been determined yet. It's inspired by a similar measure out of Queensland, Australia, which passed last year and lets drivers choose one of 5 emoji for their license plate, including a face wearing sunglasses and a winking face emoji. The Vermont bill does not specify which 6 emojis would be allowed. Probably the poop one. Vermont State Police spokesman Adam Silverman said via email that he wasn't able to comment yet on the agency's position towards the bill because they're probably on your page.
Oh man. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. Everybody can have an emoji. You have an emoji, a thumbs up, a beer, whatever, the gun, an airplane, maybe a nondescript building. Just pick 6 of them and go to town. But everyone's going to be upset without a poop. If there's no
Did I
poop,
say Vermont?
I don't know. Did you? I don't think you did. I think you said Vermont.
Vermont. Probably said Vermont.
I would live up there if I was, ready to retire. Vermont seems like a good place to chill.
They have trees. Has Stephanie been talking to you like about mindfulness lately?
We always have discussions about that kind of stuff.
So she came over today because we were at Target, and then she had time to kill before she went and picked up Sam, and she really wanted to see like me to watch this little 4-minute video, and it was on mindfulness, and I'm like, okay, like I'll watch the video because we were just talking about a bunch of stuff, and it flowed really nicely. So she takes my computer, she brings up the video, she turns it to me and watches. She's like, it's only 4 minutes, even you can pay attention. So immediately my brain goes, pay attention. You have to pay attention. You should pay attention to this thing. She presses play and the screen lights up and there's like a little brain, and underneath it says mind the bump with like a little avocado shape. And I see a little avocado shape and I'm like, pay attention, pay attention. Why is there an avocado on the bottom of the screen? Is this like a pregnancy thing? Is this like and just like my brain goes on its little thing that it does. And then a minute later into the video, I'm like, I haven't been paying attention. This is a mindfulness video. Oh my God, the irony. And I had just taken a sip of tea and it tickled me so much that I started snickering and I just spit tea. Like all over the table, all over my computer, all over Stephanie. And she's just sitting there. She's like, what just happened? That's not even remotely funny. This has information in it. What are you doing? And I'm like, I don't know what the last minute was saying. I've wasted the mindfulness video. And they just kept like piling up that I was laughing, and then she started laughing, and then I started crying because I couldn't watch it after that. She's like, Takis, you're the worst. She like shut the computer. But I'm like, the irony that I could not sit through a 4-minute mindfulness video without it was so bad. But it was the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Stupid avocado video. I have no idea what it said. I tried.
Well, there's another part of it is that you weren't you she wasn't in the sorry, I was trying to find the sentence I've been holding for a minute. I had to search through the file cabinet in my brain.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, she wasn't there for the Discord conversation where we found out you were diagnosed ADHD. So sitting you down to watch a 4-minute video educating you on anything was probably pointless, especially one not designed for you. And the way your brain works. Like, you need it to be like, so let's talk mindfulness. Look at this dancing kitty. Mindfulness is a thing where, squirrel, and they just need to have you flashing. You would be really good at watching Powerpuff Girls, but not so good at watching Mr. Rogers, because there's a lot of changing and stuff going on. And you need that. You need constant stimulus and like channel flipping.
It was just the brain and
Yeah.
the avocado that said mind the bump on a gray screen. And I'm like, the more I try to pay attention, the more my little like frontal lobe was like,
Yeah, you can't do that. But it was, it was sweet of her to try to teach you about mindfulness.
And I'm like, I want to know about this. And she's just like she was laughing too. And I'm like, she's like, it has so much information. I'm like, can you put it on a post-it note for me? Can we? And it was an Australian woman too. So I'm like,
yeah.
Why is the woman Australian? Where in Australia? She has kind of a weird accent. It was so bad, Steven. It was just so bad.
This is normal. This is fine. So Kelly does ask, what is mindfulness? So what it is, it's kind of like you doing the meditation deal, where like instead of thinking about other things while you're doing something, think about the thing while you're doing it. Like if you sit down to eat a sandwich, don't watch TV and don't like do a project while you're eating the sandwich. Just think about eating the sandwich. Eat the sandwich, thinking about the sandwich. It's being present where you are and not like always thinking about what happened or what's going to happen or who's going where, what plans you need to make. And it's about being in one place at a time. So that's what mindfulness is. It's the way I heard it explained to me that made it really easy to think of meditation and stuff is your thoughts are are cars on a highway, and you're sitting on the side of the highway watching the cars go by, and we very often go, oh, that's a cool car, and we chase it. Like we're like, especially when you're trying to go to sleep and your thoughts are racing, you're like, I'm gonna go get that car. And this idea is to sit there and focus on like your breathing or something and go, oh, there's a thought. I'm going to just let it go. Look at that. There it goes. It's gone. And then do it again and again and again and again and again. So that's what it is. Yeah.
So that's like, I find myself like, there's like an Ashley being present for stuff. And like, I consider myself back to being present with what I'm doing, but I still have many. But they may be more about what I'm doing. But it's still many.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I love when I'm actually focused on what I'm doing. It's the coolest. They call it the flow. It's when you're in a space where you're not interested in things around you. You're just interested in what you're working on. And like if a real big problem comes at work and I'm like trying to figure it out, that's like the flow state. And I love being there because I'm like in it. I'm focused on it. It has me. It's interesting. And before you know it, 2 hours are gone. And I'm like, what just happened? But great.
Getting interrupted from that is just the worst.
Oh, yeah, it sucks. It sucks. The phone call, instant message, whatever.
When I call Stephanie and it rings in your office, why the heck haven't you taken the phone out of that office?
It's gone now. I unplugged it. And one day I was on a meeting and I like one-on-one with my boss and you called and I grabbed the phone and I threw it in the closet. I was like, I'm trying to talk to you, but this phone is ringing. Give me a second. And I muted it and I grabbed the phone and I threw it in the closet. I said, there, I'm better now. Okay, we can continue.
Stephanie's like, oh my gosh. She's like, we're perturbing Steven so much. I'm like, take the phone out of the one room. It doesn't she's like, I realize that now, but it's currently in the closet.
It's in the closet. We only have it so that Stephanie knows someone is calling her. Because
Yes.
otherwise we won't know because she doesn't
Yes.
normally have her phone. So if it rings the house, then someone is trying to call me. I should go look at my phone.
But it's normally while Steven's busy. It's 90%
Always.
of the time when Steven's busy.
Always when I'm in a meeting, like every single time. Okay, here we go. Special section. Jacob has posted this question to us. Steven and Smashy, what would you pay $6 million for? And I'm trying to think about what I would pay $6 million for. Like an individual thing.
$60 million.
No, just six. 6 million.
No, I would pay $6 million for $60 million.
I don't know that you can do that. I don't feel like that's what the spirit of the question is.
Given.
I mean, what the kid in Blank Check bought a lot of stuff with 1 million. I could probably buy more stuff with. I'd probably buy like a place to go where I could have podcasting stuff and music stuff, so I could play my guitar real loud.
Like the shed outside your house that you already have.
And maybe a water slide.
You're like responsible water slide.
None of those things are responsible. I don't make money from any of those. I would pay for a cool studio place to go.
What would you guys? So Kelly wants a castle.
Yeah.
Scott wants his own production studio.
Hammer
Hammer wants
Dwarf.
to go to space.
Hammer Dwarf wants to go to space. That'd be cool.
The BNL song? What is that?
Bare Naked Ladies did If I Had $1 Million. So it'd be six
I would not have gotten that joke without you to interpret that word.
It's a good deal, man. The Bare Naked Ladies. Yeah, Travis said a production studio. Maker space. That would be cool.
Kelly obviously played $6 million because she's meeting them.
Oh, that's great. All right, well, let's just get on with the story now that we know what everybody would spend $6 million on.
Okay.
This man's dog, his dog was saved from a deadly cancer. He bought a $6 million Super Bowl ad to thank the vet. He bought
an ad?
An ad to thank the vet that saved his dog. David McNeil's 7-year-old golden retriever, Scout, collapsed in the summer of 2019, and a veterinarian told him the dog had cancer and 1 month to live. There he was in this little room, standing in the corner, and he's wagging his tail at me. I'm like, I'm not putting that dog down. There's just absolutely no way, said McNeil, who is founder and CEO of WeatherTech, a car accessories company. I had WeatherTech floor mats for a while. They're great.
Oh, really?
Yeah, WeatherTech makes good stuff. He took Scout to the University of Wisconsin School of Veterinary Medicine. The dog had a 1% chance of survival, but doctors at the veterinary school treated Scout with aggressive chemotherapy and radiation that nearly eradicated his tumor. McNeil was so grateful he took out the ad, a 30-second spot called Lucky Dog, that opens with Scout running on the beach and tells the story of his survival. The spot encourages viewers to donate to the veterinary school's research. This is an amazing opportunity not only for the University of Wisconsin-Madison and the School of Veterinary Medicine, but for veterinary medicine worldwide, said the dean, Mark Markle. McNeil said he hopes that Spot does some good. I hope it has a positive impact on cancer for animals and people all over the world. That's precious. I mean, $6 million could do a lot. But, I mean, awareness is a thing, right? Like, you might say you could use that $6 million to help so many people. But, I mean, getting a message out about miracle surgeries that worked, and people might be encouraged to go, you know what? I'll give them an extra $1. Who knows? Who knows what happens, you know?
The doggy would have died.
Yeah, it would have, but it didn't.
No, I mean, if it was my dog, you'd be like, okay, bye.
We probably would have done.
My cat had cancer. They're like, we need to put her down. I'm like, that's gonna make my mom really sad, but okay.
You and I do not have whatever is necessary to form strong bonds with animals. And it's mostly because we like to talk to people because they can talk back at us and we can have a conversation. And the dog's just like, I love you no matter what. I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
You're fine.
I mean, they're adorable. And sometimes you can saddle them and ride them.
Dogs?
No, just like horses.
Yeah.
like pets in general.
I told friends of mine, they picked at me forever about it, but I was like, oh, a cat's, a lot like a lamp. It's nice to have around.
It drums. I remember when you said that, Stephanie's like, Steven said a cat was like furniture, like a lamp. She's like, how do you not? And I'm like, we've had I put Tigger down, put Diana down. I buried both of them. Two of them ran away, and I'm like, well, I hope they died fast. Like,
hope they're okay.
And then like the horses that we had forever, and I'm like, well, they're dead now. Glue.
This is getting really morbid. I mean, yeah, every animal I've ever had has also passed away because they got old, and that sucks. But it's just one of those things. Like I don't bond with animals very well. I think it's because I had a dog get hit by a car when I was a kid, and I had a turtle die. I don't know why, but I'm not. And it's so here's the thing. It's not that I wish harm or want anything to ever happen to any animal, or I don't care. It's that I struggle to form strong enough bonds to do what this person did. I would just be like, man, I'm really gonna miss that dog. If
the doctor, now if someone came up to me and said, your family member is blah blah blah, I'd be like, the F you say, you go take some frog sperm and shove up their vagina and make them better.
What?
I don't know.
Or at the worst, make some sort of mutant we can study for science.
Wait, Jacob, what's the frog goo thing? It's a thing. It's not sperm. It's frog goo. And then Travis is like, dude, my dog's my family. I would have totally done that.
There you go. I'm not tell everybody else what to do. I'm just saying how my emotional course is charted when it comes to an animal.
Jacob, what is that stuff called? Bukake. Frog bukake.
That's not okay. I'm gonna move to the news better left untold while you think about this.
It's a thing.
Doctors were stunned to discover that a Texas man's persistent vomit-inducing headaches were caused by tapeworms that had lived in his brain for 10 years. The patient had picked up his parasitic passenger from undercooked pork in Mexico. We talked about this on Adam of Geekheim's food stream on Tuesday. And I was asking Stephanie about it because it was fascinating to me. For months, the Austin man, identified only as Gerardo, had suffered from incessant headaches so excruciating that they made him vomit from the pain. He told KXAN. His condition got so bad that he even passed out on the field during a soccer match last year. Not able to endure the pain any longer, Gerardo checked into the Del Seaton Medical Center at the University of Texas, where MRI scans revealed a 4-centimeter-long mass at the base of his brain. After ruling out a brain tumor, doctors deduced that it was a big tapeworm. According to neurosurgeon Jordan Amadeo, rock me Amadeo, rock me Amadeo.
Thank you.
Specifically, Gerardo suffered from neurocysticercosis. That's a real hard word to say. A rare and extraordinary parasitic infection caused by larval cysts of the pork tapeworm taking up residence in the brain. Their first
pork tapeworm sounds awful.
Oh, it's not good. I mean, it's bad news. They were first contracted when the host ingests microscopic eggs passed in the stool of a person who ate undercooked pork. What? The host ingests poop eggs from someone who ate pork poop.
Did you say poop eggs?
Poopy, covered.
Please, someone make
eggs.
that a title, poop eggs.
That was likely the case with Gerardo, who had taken a trip to Mexico a decade prior. Despite only affecting around 4,000 people in the U.S. annually, neurocysticercosis can prove fatal. Worst of all, the worms are difficult to detect as they can grow inside the body without causing symptoms until they get big enough. Fortunately, doctors were able to surgically remove the neurological interloper, and Gerardo was reportedly back to work. I asked Steph about this. I was like, I thought tapeworms were like gut worms. Like that was what they do. Because we were both watching Adam of Geekheim's show. And she was like, no. She said, pork tapeworms? Tapeworms do whatever they want. She was so nonchalant about it. She didn't even look up from her laptop. She was just like,
Are you
oh,
serious?
tapeworms do whatever they want. Where's that tapeworm? Ooh, in the brain? What kind of tapeworm? Pork tapeworm? Ooh, worse tapeworm. I'm like, how do you know so much stuff? Yeah, it was bad news for this fellow. Not a good dietary supplement. It's a bad idea. Don't do that.
Bad news tapeworm.
Don't get one. That's all I got to say about that.
That's gross. How do you? So he had, like, oh, I guess it was in his head for a decade. That's sucky.
Yeah. Also, TV's Travis said we're just going to gloss over the fact that the article used the word interloper.
Wait, did it?
It did at the very end. The neurological interloper.
Neurological interloper. That's so good.
I love
Like,
the
that
word
needs to be
interloper.
someone's epic journey story.
Oh, wow. That would be a good one. twodorks.net/horizons for details on how to submit your story to the next Legion of Dorks anthology.
Thank you, Adam, for your submission to the vomitorium.
Oh, is that Adam's story? Did he submit that?
I think so.
I know
Adam, did he
somebody
sub
wanted
that?
to submit a story to Jacob, but we didn't write it down. Or if it didn't get put in here, then we're sorry, but it didn't make the cut.
I think
But that was pretty
'cause
good.
Jacob said he saw somebody did something, and I just
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Adam sent it to him. So thank you, Adam of Geekheim, for sending this story. And if you want to enjoy quality content on Tuesday nights, Adam's food stream is worth a watch. It's a good time.
Oh my gosh. It's so, like, when I realized the premise of what he was doing, I'm like, what is this? But like the chat was so much fun. And then because we watched the Harris Pilton video when I was there, and I'm like, this is the best thing that's ever happened. And
Oh,
also
yeah.
maybe the worst.
It
It
was
was
great.
fun.
Even when he didn't have a video, I was captivated by everything on it. I was having fun.
Yeah, it's such a like weird niche thing that ends up being, tapewormy.
There was so much good stuff. Like, I learned all about all the food holidays throughout the month of January and February, and I'm like, I want to celebrate all of these. Oh, and he talked about the North Carolina, the Krispy Kreme run.
All the oh
Yeah.
my gosh, we've got a friend that does that every year. The first year he did the whole box and he threw up, so now he just like eats one and takes the box back and shares with his friends.
Can we do that? Because I want to do that. I didn't know. I thought
Hey,
you had to get to
Wally.
the end and eat all 12,
No, you can eat like a one.
but you still get a box.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then this sounds like a great idea. I would love to run, eat a donut, and then run back with the box. Like that sounds like the best idea I've ever heard.
Yeah, I guess I never thought about it like that. I just thought Wally was smart for not puking like all the college kids.
You have to run. I think it's a
Steven's like,
5.
"You still have to run."
I think it's a
Steven can
5K.
Run, man. Steven's a gazelle. Like, he is a gazelle.
I have a lot of fun when I run. It's only 1 mile. I thought it was a 5K. That was a 3.2er. Anyway, details
no
to
idea.
come. WTF section. WTF.
I feel like if Facebook were a story, it would be this one. Man arrested for smoking pot while in court for pot charges.
Wait, what? What? Oh, good gravy. This story. I saw the headline of this story earlier.
Spencer Boston, which is a super fun name, had a message and nothing was going to stop him from delivering it. Not even jail time. Oh, okay. So he did this on purpose.
Yes. Nutball.
Wow. Okay. Boston, 20, was in court in Wilson County, Tennessee, facing a simple marijuana possession charge. But as he stood to face the judge, Haywood Berry, he began expressing his views on why weed should be legalized, mostly so you don't go to jail. And to amplify his point, he reached into his jacket, slipped out a single marijuana cigarette. Oh my God.
I mean, maybe he was looking for a jury nullification or something.
Well, I'm just whoever wrote marijuana cigarette. I don't know that I can't laugh at that. He then pulled out a box of matches and lit it up. Boston got several quick inhales before security personnel realized what was happening. They detained him and escorted him out of the courtroom. Boston wasn't done though. Before being let out, he turned to the gallery and declared, "The people deserve better. Hack the planet." So awkward. The courtroom burst out laughing. Boston's message came at a cost. The Wilson County Sheriff's Office said he was charged with disorderly conduct and simple possession of marijuana. Barry also held him in contempt of court for his actions. He's currently serving 10 days in jail for contempt. Afterward, he's eligible to post a $3,000 bond. Suck a butt.
I mean, it's illegal in Tennessee.
I know. I
So,
will say, civil disobedience at his finest. I feel like this could be I kind of want to high five the guy.
I mean, so there's a person that the world will rally around, and there's people that it won't rally around. Like, look at this shining fellow here, who looks
no,
like
is there a picture?
he's got it all together. Like, so there was a comment. he's there. People are gonna come out for some folks, and they're not gonna come out for others. Like Martin Luther King had a lot of people rallied around him. He didn't look like this guy. Never mind the white part, but
Oh yeah, I do kind of want to high five him for his stance, because
I mean, sure, but like, okay, so there was this dude back in the 70s, like arguing against the Vietnam War and stuff, and he was he wore a suit, he cut his hair all nice, but he was a Vietnam War protester, but he was getting meetings with lots of folks that he needed to talk to try and sort things out. I cannot remember his name. I just remember it from listening to, it was like Mark Maron's podcast or something, and they were talking about this era. But it was, all the people that were like protesting were just hippied out, right? Like long hair, and it was just crazy, and bandanas everywhere and all that stuff. And they thought he was one of the enemy. They were like, "How can you be doing this? You're just one of them, and your suit and your hair and your blah 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 blah." No, it's Forrest Gump did have this.
Pretty good.
Thank you, Adam. It did have these events in it, but no, this is real life. But they were upset at him because he looked like the enemy. But the problem was nobody was going to meet with the hairy, smelly hippie on the bus.
Right.
If you want to make change, you have to present yourself in such a way that the vast majority of the world will view you as respectable. Or else you're just yelling and no one's going to pay attention. For better or worse. I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm just saying, like, you gotta kind of fit that professional mold to get the meetings where you have the meetings. The people arguing for legal sex work aren't showing up at Capitol Hill to have discussions with senators dressed like they're going out on the street and like, I'm ready to get some pepper. They're dressed presentable for that particular meeting, and they're getting them so they can have these conversations. Granted,
I'm assuming that's his mug. Is that his mug shot?
I don't know. He's kind of that's definitely a tie-dyed shirt.
Yeah,
that he's got on there. Yeah, so Kelly agrees with me.
And it may be a situation where, like, when he gets out, he may, shave the fuzzles, and
yeah.
I mean, it kind of looks like Jesus if Jesus was white.
That's okay.
It's like a white Jesus.
This Jesus-looking guy came in and stopped and made marijuana legal because he stood on a desk and shouted for freedom.
Well, it sucks though. There's just so much bull crap, and there's so much noise that, like, when somebody does something like that, because that I appreciate deeply that he stood up for what he believed. I think for a 20-year-old, like, that's awesome. Like, he may be tie-dye hippie looking dude, but that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. I'm down with that. I say, well done, sir. It's illegal. You're going to jail, but you know what? Your message was heard.
Right. And I mean, that's what, I mean, you were talking about him. Like, that's what he said. He's like, stand up to what you believe is wrong, but be prepared to accept the consequences, right?
Oh yeah.
So I feel like that kid embodied that, because he's serving time for breaking the law, but he made it known that the law was stupid.
He's telling him like it is. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the show for tonight. We have had a wonderful, wonderful time talking to you about all these wonderful stories and everything else we said. Good gravy. I don't even remember. An hour was a long time ago. But if you've enjoyed the show, if you thought it was fun, feel free to drop us a tip at twodorks.net/tip. I'd like to promote the Patreon, patreon.com/twodorks.
Oh, we had a Throwback Thursday picture on there.
Oh, nice. Is Adam of Geekheim subbed, right? Or gave us Patreon money? It's him who did it, yes?
Yeah.
I meant to look at this before. Well, thank you very much, Adam of Geekheim, for your contribution as being a new patron to the Two Dorks network of stuff we do. It used to be a network. We used to have like 3 shows we do. Now we just do this one all the time, and it's great. If you want to be a part of that, patreon.com/twodorks. We'd love to get your money because it's a tip to say thank you for whatever. Follow us on Twitter, Two Dorks TV. I'm Steve H&H. Ashley's Fate Kills, P-H-A-T-E Kills. And if you want to send us mail, you can do so at hnhshow@gmail.com. Be sure to join the Discord to come and hang out with us because we sure have a lot of fun sitting in there and jibber-jabbering with each other. It's a lot of fun. And you can submit stories to Jacob that way by just direct messaging McFly Flyers in the Discord. Tell him you want this story on the show, and if it passes the muster, if it passes the filter rules there, no death or whatever, then he'll put it in there. We can credit you with it. And we'll leave you guys with these words of wisdom. Thousands of candles can be lighted from a single candle, and the life of the candle will not be shortened. Happiness never decreases by being shared. That's from Buddha. Thank you, Buddha, for that. That was awesome. You're the best. We'll see you guys next time, right here on Horseshoes and Hand Grenades.
I would stop laughing at that eventually.
No, there's no need.
Nope.
No need. Gotta save this thing. H&H episode. Oh, wait a minute. Main show. 01/30/30/2020. Save. Know how to work most of this Reaper stuff still.
I don't know what that means.
Whoops.
Oh, did you? What? You told me. I sent that to Chris. Never mind.
What? What did I tell you?
No, I gotta talk about the story. Oh, was that not the story you submitted? Did we not use it?
Thought we did. He said we did.
Oh, okay.
I thought he said we did. Maybe didn't.
I don't know. I'm confused.
Dude,
Don't confuse me. I'm tired and my brain cells are few.
There we go. Ba-doop. I'm still learning how to work this app. It's pretty nice, though. I'm enjoying it.
I think you're doing a good job because I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, I know. All right, so let's get some titles.
Tittles.
Go get us some titles for the show and the parts.
Wu-Tang Virus. Yes. Herpes is better than tech support. Poop eggs. Poop eggs has to be in there somewhere.
I'm writing them down. Whichever ones you say are the ones that are going in here. Wu-Tang Virus.
Wild Beaver Saloon. That's fun. Oh, wait, Smashy's huge dong. Thank nabbit. I don't understand. Oh, because I was talking about peeing in a sink. My Google feels dirty. These are so funny.
Wild Beaver Saloon. Where did that even come from?
Me. Well, I was looking for beaver wang. That's one of the because I wanted to type in wild beaver penis and it came up wild beaver saloon.
Porn mode thrust into your ear holes. We're professionals. Some ears and a mouth. I clicked on it. Shatner cocky. Shatner cocky's a good one.
My nickname for Jacob. I call Jacob my penguin mate.
Without a schlong. Wu-Tang Virus would be a pretty good show title.
Yeah, well, it's the highest, so you have to use that one.
Yeah.
I have to pee.
On this episode of Horseshoes and Hanger Days, episode 497. Man, we're coming up on 500 quick. January 30.
Oh, wow.
2020 Wu-Tang Virus. Smashy's huge dong. That's great. All right, so here we go. Let's do this thing. Tonight on the show, herpes is wait, no, hold on.
Tonight on the show, herpes!
It had my thing. Whoops. The thing was all the way back at the front. And I want it here. There we go. I think I can make this work now. All right, here we go.
Okay.
Tonight on the show, herpes is better than tech support. Poopy eggs. Wild Beaver Saloon. Shatner cocky. all these weird stories, your factoid, words of wisdom, and more on this episode of Horseshoes and Hand Grenades, episode 497 for January 30th, 2020. Wu-Tang Virus. I don't know if I like that. I feel like I didn't say enough things.
Say one more thing, Adam. They were both F-bombs, so Travis, thanks. You clip my F-bombs.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it the old school way. See how it goes.
Okay.
Where I just make it up as I go.
Okay. So life.
So yeah, basically make it up as I go along.
Okay.
Tonight on the show, herpes is better than tech support. Beaver penises. Vermont's doing weird stuff with your license plate. What would you spend $6 million on? There's a tapeworm, but it's not used for your diet, so because it went somewhere else that it shouldn't go. And also, man pulls a exhibit and does marijuana while getting in trouble for his marijuana. All these things, your factoid, and more on tonight's episode of Horseshoes and Hand Grenades, episode 497 for January 30th, 2020. Wu-Tang Virus.
It's so funny when you say Wu-Tang.
That sounded.
What the hell's a mouth of Sauron? I thought he was just an eye.
Sauron has
I grew these myself. I never had braces. Wow, wow, wow. Real proud of those.
You should be.
I mean, that was. I should not have had teeth because my dad's teeth are jacked up and my mom's teeth are jacked up.
Sorry, I was just playing it back.
Buttons.
Making sure it was right.
Hey, this is what being pregnant feels like. Apparently. I am the Grey Panther, bitches! I'm so tired.
I don't even know what's going on anymore.
I'm gonna pee my pants. I made myself laugh. Did you see my Grey Panther, Steven? See?
Oh my goodness. There we go. I'm trying to learn how to operate this software. This'll do. This is fine. This is fine.
What? Is it new?
What?
Your software?
Yeah, I don't use. This is one of the first times I've used it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
So.
did not know the thing.
So I'm still kind of trying to figure it out It's fine. I kind of got it. I think I've got it. It sounds fine when it comes out the other side.
That's what she said.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It's gonna mix down. Anyway, yeah, I need to learn Reaper. I looked at Bill's YouTube video on how he does it, and it was pretty self-explanatory. But there's, I'm used to Audacity, and it kind of it's stupid proof. But also, if you screw up, you can lose everything. Reaper, the cool thing about it smashes it doesn't delete things when you delete things. It's non-destructive. So like if I were to screw up and delete something in Audacity, it's gone. Like I could undo it, but if I forget to undo it, it's still destroyed. Where Reaper,
Hey, remember
it's
when we had to do a show 3 times because it lost it twice in a row?
yeah, that was bad. That was bad. We had to do a show. We had to do a show and pretend it was the first time we were doing it 3 times. It was
3 effing times
It was
in one night. That's when there were no children.
No, that was long before
Stay up
children.
until 4.
Yeah, now if I don't go to bed at 8:30, I'm like, I'm sleepy. Yeah, we gotten better at this game since then.
Yeah, because I helped so much with the tech end of it.
Yeah.
I just like that when I put my headphones on the microphone, like I could hear Scott wince. Groove was just like, no!
Stop it!
It made me so happy.
Anyway, you guys are amazing. Thank you again for showing up and hanging out with us this Thursday night. And there's going to be more fun stuff. I didn't know you were going on another podcast. You did not tell me that.
I forgot. No, I told you a while ago. It's just we finally scheduled it for next Friday. It's Crash Test Pilots.
Who's it with? There's some good people. Okay, gotcha.
Nicole and
I'm excited for you and your show with the people that we know that you're excited.
it was the giant size team up, folks. It was the dude that hosted.
Charles?
No, the other guy.
Paul?
No, the other guy.
Phil?
Klotz.
Paul Klotz. Okay, yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Paul? Okay.
Yeah. Like, Phil, I'll name all the GSTUers if I have to. Chris Wisdom? Who?
I can't name.
We're going to let Ashley go before it all just goes south. You guys are amazing, and we love you. And we'll see you next time. Bye.